Yes.
Let me go ahead and open this. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and most welcome guests. We are now calling this meeting to order. As you know, this is a special presentation of Pathways for the Toastmasters program. We have two people with us today, and I will introduce them in just a minute. Shall we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? What happened to my flag? Right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woo-hoo! I welcome now to the lectern, I welcome the ambassador of the Pathways presentation, who is Margaret Robinson, after which you will be hearing the guide. I believe she will tell us, I'm thinking the guide who will be next, that is Serena Ball. This presentation is one for all Toastmasters to learn about. Welcome, Toastmaster DTM Margaret Robinson and Serena Ball, soon to be DTM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mitchell. We're so glad to be here with you today. But I will yield the floor to my Pathways guide, Toastmaster Ball.
Good afternoon, all. Not sure where my sound guy is with my presentation, or if he's still working on it. So we're just going to go ahead and get started as if we didn't have it and play catch-up when we get it. That is the joy of being a Toastmaster. We must be flexible at all times. And he's got me on and powered up. I see it. So first of all, I want to tell everyone that I am truly excited that you allowed me the opportunity to come and speak at your club. It is truly my pleasure to serve you as your Pathways guide. And I am truly excited to introduce to you our new education program. Pathways is going to be an awesome experience for each of us. But before we get started, I want to know how many have ever heard of Pathways and know anything about it by a show of hands. Oh, we have a few. That is a good thing that some have taken the interest to find out about Pathways ahead of time. But for those of you who have not found out about Pathways, we're going to start off with a small video to give you some of the testimonies of other people who have already started the program. It has been rolled out in several different areas. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that video.
What I like best about Pathways is the fact that it's much more customized to what you may want to get out of Toastmasters, what your goals are.
It's basically Toastmasters updated.
The base camp is like having a personal coach. It guides you through the journey of Pathways and tells you the next steps.
One of the things I liked about Basecamp is that I can tell where I am in my journey and continue at the next step. I know exactly where I am.
I've used it on a computer, I've used it on a tablet, I've used it on a phone.
It's really cool that we're able to go on to Basecamp and take a quiz that determines what path best suits our needs.
One of the most surprising things about the assessment is that it gave me more awareness about what exactly I was looking for.
The questions were very introspective.
And the assessment was very intuitive.
Taking the assessment helped me really put a finger on my goals.
These paths are going to aid me in a more specific way than the previous programs did.
The path that I chose really gave me the step-to-step roadmap into achieving my goals.
There are 10 different paths. It's amazing how much opportunity there is for the future.
Pathways has led me to a whole new level.
I'm really appreciative that Toastmasters has this new, exciting format. After decades of having an old format, we are now up to date and we can determine which path best suits the individual.
Awesome. That gave you a few testimonies of those that have already began to work within our new education program. I will tell you that today, the word for today would truly be excited. You will hear that word many times throughout this presentation because it is an exciting factor for us to go into, because this is the biggest change that Toastmasters has made to the education program since its conception. We originally started off with the communication of Dr. Ralph Smedley, and he tells you the communication leads to the discovery of hidden abilities, broadens a person's concept of how to live with people, and it brings out for the use of leadership traits and abilities, and does help prepare the individual to be a leader. So I ask each of you, do you feel like a leader can be made, or is a leader born? Made. There are skill sets that can be learned in the process to make you a great leader. Toastmasters not only focuses on your public speaking skills, but also your leadership skills. We know that strong communication leads to many things, but lack of communication can also lead to many things. Communication is the key to open just about any door you want. I fall strongly on my faith belief, and it tells me that if you ask not, you get not. So you got to communicate your wants and your needs. And this works the same way whether you're in corporate America, you're in a nonprofit, you're in your community, anything. It has to be spoken. Thoughts have to be placed in vision for people to see. So as we go through, you'll see that we started out with the basic training guide. The basic training guide then evolved to the competent communicator and the competent leader manuals that we have today. It has been a great change from the old guide, as you can see from on the screen, to what we currently have. And then we also have a few youth programs and youth manuals such as interpersonal communication. But if you never change, can you grow? Okay, I'm going to have to go back and tell y'all, I'm an energy hog. I feed off my people. So when I ask questions, I'm expecting a nod, a yes, a yeah, we can, or so forth. So I'm going to ask it again. If we never change, can we grow? No. I attended a seminar about Lenny the Lizard. How many have ever heard of Lenny the Lizard? Never heard of Lenny the Lizard. It was a seminar that they did for our leadership program. And she walked out with a lizard on her shoulder. And she advised us that if a reptile does not shed its skin, it will die. So if we do not shed, we cannot grow. So shedding goes back to eliminating of the old to take on something new. And it's the same way with our great organization here at Toastmasters. We have to shed or change some things in order for us to continue to grow. But Dr. Smedley also told us that we learn in moments of enjoyment. We truly do not learn if we're not enjoying ourselves. I always tell my coworkers, you spend the majority of your day, the majority of your lifetime with your coworkers. Honestly, you spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your family. If you do not have some enjoyment, did you truly learn the job that you were hired to do? Are you truly productive at the job you were hired to do? Same goes with Toastmasters. If you do not enjoy your meetings, do you really learn what you need to learn through your manuals? If you do not enjoy your fellow Toastmasters in some shape, form, or fashion, do you really learn anything? We learn from moments of enjoyment. If you make me laugh, I will remember you. If you make me smile, I will remember it. But if I sit and I nod throughout your entire presentation, please don't ask me any questions, because I did not enjoy myself and I do not remember anything you just said. At Toastmasters, we want to make your experience enjoyable. We want you to seize what you have and build upon it. It says that to learn in moments of enjoyment. Think about a child when they're learning to walk. They get excited because mom and daddy clapped and is excited that they took that first step. It makes them want to do more because they're enjoying the attention that they receive. Toastmasters does the same for us in our individual meetings. We clap. We give you kudos. We applaud you. We make you want to come back. We make you feel appreciated. We make what you're doing be enjoyable to each of us. And when Toastmasters got ready to make the change, they wanted to look and see exactly what are we looking for? What are we currently teaching? How can we change it? How can we make it better? We learned it's got to have a high value. If you don't value something, do you spend your precious time with it? Thank you, Miss Antoinette. If it's not fun, do you spend your precious time with it? If it truly does not meet your needs, are you going to waste your precious time with it? We're also looking for something that's flexible. Everybody has their own wants, needs, and desires. We need a program that's going to fit with each of us and allow us the flexibility we need. But it's also going to be competence-based. It's going to provide us with rich resources and meaningful and effective evaluations. Think about it. If I stand here each time you speak and I tell you, wonderful job, I wouldn't change a thing. Are you growing? You're truly not. So we want you to choose your experience. We want to tailor it and be self-paced for you. We have some people that are overachievers, but does that mean that other people are underachievers? Everybody's schedule is completely different. Me personally, I have no toddlers. I have no active teenagers. So I can focus a little bit more and move a little faster than someone that has a 3-year-old, a 13-year-old, and they're constantly running. Toastmasters allows the program to work for anyone in any situation because you tailor it for yourself. It's still our wonderful self-paced learning, and it allows you the flexibility to choose the experience that you're looking for. For many of us that are still within corporate America, we're looking to advance in our job. We're looking what's going to be the next stepping stone to move to the next position. If the job says I have to do a presentation, I'm going to take a presentation class so I can be ready for it. If the job says that I've got to learn how to access, I'm going to take an access class so I can be ready for it. But you look at the vast variety of people that we have within Toastmasters. We have many that are retired. And you think to yourself, well, why are they staying here? They're not trying to go up in the corporate world. But we want their experience to be just as grand as the person's experience that's going into the corporate world. So we're going to allow you to choose your experience by broadening not only your horizons, but Toastmasters' horizons as well. Greater access to the materials. Have you ever used the excuse, I don't know where my book is, in order not to speak? Have you ever used the excuse, oh, I left it, in order not to complete your competent leader? Well, I have to be honest, I have. I started off at Blue Cross. Toastmasters was at work. I had a desk at work. Toastmasters stuff stayed at work. Then Blue Cross had the wonderful idea, we're going to send y'all home to work remote. So I packed up that desk and took it home. So then they asked me, well, Sarita, why haven't you completed your Advanced Communicator Bronze or Advanced Communicator Silver? I was speaking, but I never had a book to fill out. I don't know where the book is at. It's in a box. Finally got the home office set up, everything going well. I get the brilliant idea, I'm going to buy me a home. So once again, I packed it all up and I moved it yet again. Toastmasters is going to eliminate that for us. It took my excuse away with our new educational path because it's going to be awesome how it's going to be greater access to the material. So because you left your book at home does not mean that you cannot complete the task or the assignment and get credit. It's going to expand our resources. We're looking for more. We want to grow more, and we want to apply it to the real world. There's no good of telling me something in a great scenario if it does not apply to what I'm going through right now. So we're going to give you a small introduction to Pathways and let them tell you just a little bit about how it's going to meet these criteria.
Welcome to the Toastmasters Pathways learning experience, an exciting, flexible, and interactive way to develop your skills and help others in your club develop theirs. Building on Dr. Smedley's original vision and Toastmasters' core competencies, Pathways upholds the club experience while offering new, revitalized educational content that helps you learn communication and leadership skills that address real-world scenarios. Pathways expands on the current education and leadership tracks by offering more than 300 competencies across 59 projects. These projects are divided into 10 specialized learning paths that allow you to tailor your experience to fit your needs and your pace. All of this content is available online, allowing you to learn anytime, anywhere, from your computer, laptop, or tablet through Basecamp. Basecamp is the place where you'll find all of the materials for your learning experience, along with tools for your journey. In Basecamp, you'll be able to share feedback with fellow club members, view badges you've earned, access and save digital speech evaluations, and more. When you first begin Pathways, you'll take an online assessment that will recommend the path that's right for you. You'll be able to access your path from your education transcript in Basecamp, where you can view and complete projects. New elective projects, such as write a compelling blog and manage projects successfully, allow you to tailor your learning to meet your interests. Projects in Basecamp include a variety of interactive elements, including questionnaires, quizzes, menus, and expandable content. Educational videos model skills and provide demonstrations of the concepts you are learning. For example, Prepare for an Interview shows effective and ineffective interview techniques. Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring demonstrates the difference between coaching and mentoring. And Manage Online Meetings provides the best practices and strategies for holding a webinar or another type of online meeting. As you can see, Pathways represents an exciting paradigm shift that brings with it many new learning opportunities. What's more, Pathways will feel familiar to you because it maintains the things you love about Toastmasters, including your club experience. Pathways is coming to your club soon. Visit toastmasters.org/pathways to learn more.
When corporate decided they was going to change our education program, they began by analyzing our current programs. We wanted to see what was taught, how it was taught, and what skills and competencies you gained when it was taught to you, and exactly what was missing. In my mindset, that tells me they did a gap analysis. They were determining where the breakdown was at. What are we missing? Where do we need a bridge built at? And they started, first of all, by looking at our core competencies. Our 5 core competencies include public speaking. It's Toastmasters. We're supposed to talk. Interpersonal communication. You got to talk to somebody besides yourself to ensure that you're working correctly. Strategic leadership. Even within Toastmasters itself, we have a leadership plan, starting with our president and working down through our officers. Management. Whether you're managing your club's resources, the company's resources, or the people within either one, you still need management skills. And then confidence. It is very difficult to do any of the first 4 if you do not have confidence within yourself. Now, they tell us that confidence cannot be taught. It has to be built upon. Do you think that that is a true statement? Can someone teach you confidence? No answer, so I'm going to take that as a no. Nobody can teach you to be confident, but you can learn it through constant practice. My basketball coach used to tell me that there's no such thing as practice make perfect. He says if you practice it wrong, you will continue to do it wrong. He told us perfect practice makes perfect. Toastmasters allows us to practice in a safe environment. And once they had our 5 core competencies, they decided, what are we going to do with it? How are we going to build on each one of these? Currently now you have your competent communicator and your competent leader. And then it goes into other advanced manuals. Now we're going to have paths. When they started this slide presentation, they told us there were 10 paths. These 10 paths range from dynamic leadership down to visionary communication. How many people want to be a visionary? You've got a vision that you want to give out to everybody else. In order to give that vision, you have to be able to speak to them publicly. You have to be able to have interpersonal communication. And leadership is a must. And then you must manage all resources that are available to you. The great thing is Toastmasters never stops growing. When they created this presentation, they said 10 paths. I'm proud to announce that we're now up to 12 paths by the end of this year. They're continuously growing. They're continuously rolling out new information for each one. As you work through the paths, each path has 5 levels. Level 1 through 5 starts with just your fundamentals. How many of you thought once you got past competent communicator, you no longer have to do an icebreaker? I'm done. I don't have to do that part anymore. I don't want to talk about me. Guess what? The greatest person that you have knowledge of, the greatest subject that you have knowledge on, is yourself. When we gave our first icebreaker, we stood and we gladly said, my name is Sarita Ball. I'm the third child from Paul and Lyndon Ball. We gave the basics. But as you grow in Toastmasters, do you not have something new that you want to tell people about? It is harder to go back and do an icebreaker after you've been in the program a while compared to when you first did it. Because now people expect more of you. We expect you to be more confident in yourself and about yourself. So all our paths are going to start with that wonderful icebreaker and work through the basics. As you go through each level, they're going to go all the way up, and you get to choose some great electives. Currently, you have an advanced manual, and you get to choose which manual you want to order, whether it's interpretive reading, whether it's humorous speaking. You still have that option. Here, they're simply called electives. Welcome to college. They're going to start you over again as a freshman, so we're all coming in on the same ground level, and we're going to learn and grow once again with each other. There are 59 projects within this path, within our 10 paths. That's a lot of projects. Do you ever think you could complete them all? Will you ever learn everything there is to learn? No. That's why the new path, as well as the old path, works for those that are entry level and just starting in the corporate world, all the way to those that have retired. There is still something to be learned. These 59 projects will be available in the languages listed, and they're currently working on phase 2 for sight impaired, for those that are blind or legally blind. So they'll be able to read their manuals as well. Now, here's my favorite part. The kudos. Let's just be honest. You like to hear somebody tell you well done. I'm going to speak for me. I love the applause. Typically, if I know I have to speak, I'm not sitting on the front row. I want them to clap for quite a while. Build me up. Make me feel good. It gives me a minute to get the jitters off. It makes me feel like, okay, they're raring to hear what I have to say. When I graduated with my master's degree, I was here in Arkansas. No family. Knew very little people. And they said, Sarita, you're actually going to walk the stage? I said, 18 months of hard work, projects, somebody's finna clap for me. I was too excited to walk the stage whether I knew a person that was in the audience or not. The difference here is that you get to give out kudos more regularly than you do in our traditional program. You'll notice at the top there's 5. Those are for your levels. When you complete level 1, 2, 3, 4, and on through number 5, which is proficient, you'll get one of those badges. But the 4 in the corner, those are my favorite. Even if I am not your evaluator for that day, I can give you out a badge. I can tell you you did a wonderful job. And those badges include such things as courageous, creative. You get to boost your people up without having to be on the agenda for the day. And those badges are there for them each time they log within their system so they can see, hey, such and such thought I did an excellent job today. Did you just not build their confidence a little bit more? Because confidence can be built. Once you complete it, of course, you will get your certificate. You have the option of downloading it and printing it yourself, or you can contact corporate and get the wonderful package sent to you. It's truly up to you. It's your choice and your options. Evaluations. We talked about the evaluations. I stated before, if I stand here and tell you you always do an excellent job, am I really helping you to grow? And we decided not really, because I always need something to build upon. Our new program has a more comprehensive evaluation sheet. It starts off with your general sheet, your purpose statements, your notes from the facilitator, and your general comments. We want these to be specific for the project that you're working on. We want to ensure that you receive the feedback that you need to receive. Many times when I am the evaluator for the day, I'm spending the first few minutes, let's be honest, of their speech trying to read the page of what I'm supposed to be looking for if it hasn't been given to me before. And some of the questions can be quite lengthy. So I got to make sure I understand if I can ensure that I answer correctly and give them some effective evaluation. The new sheet, we give them a score. We give them a range. And we tell them we're going to judge on the basics of each one for vocal variety, with 5 to a 1. And then our third sheet of the presentation tells you what that 1 to 5 means. It gives you the opportunity that you can look at it and actually spend time listening to the person that's speaking instead of trying to read and look for mistakes. I am also the QA analyst for our area. Many people don't like quality assurance. They feel that I'm the boogeyman. I'm looking for the mistakes so I can tell them what they did wrong. When I step into Toastmasters, I want to leave the QA hat outside. I want to enjoy what was given to me, and this range gives me the opportunity to be able to listen to them and quickly be able to fill out my evaluation sheet at the end. Pathways is also rolling out a new mentor program. And I know many are thinking, okay, that's going to cause us to lose our mentors that we have currently. You're not to change your current mentors. If you have a mentor program within your club, please continue it. This is an add-on and build upon, because no one can enter this mentor program until they reach level 2 of their chosen path. There is no extra charge to go through the mentor program. It is an additional plus. So you get to go through the mentor program, and it gives you the basis of mentoring. And the cool thing is, once you complete it, you get another badge. So kudos all the way. Now, getting started, it really makes you wonder, okay, you told me all of this, that's fine. What are you finna do now? Just drop me and let me go? We're not gonna do that. The first thing we want you to know about getting started is that we're not leaving you. How many people have went to Toastmasters International and logged on before? If you have not, that is your first step of getting started. We need you to log on, ensure that your information is correct, that your email address is correct, that you have your current password, because that is the logon information you'll be using for the Pathways program. So log on, make sure all your information is correct. Once it rolls out to you, which we're set to roll out on February the 13th, under the criteria that all of the Pathways guys have presented this presentation to at least 70% of our clubs within our area. Proud to say that we're on path for that. We were over 66% at last notification, so we will meet that deadline. When you first log on to Pathways, it's going to give you a choose your path, assess your path through Basecamp, and the Navigator. Now, they tell me that the Navigator is the Holy Grail. For me personally, there's only one Holy Grail, so I'm just going to tell you it's a great guide. It's a great resource for you to use. But what I like about the Navigator is it's going to help you navigate through the Pathways experience. And it also starts off with that wonderful thing that we love, which is a kudos, and it says congratulations. They're pumping me up. As my dad says, they're priming you. They're getting ready to start the motor in order for you to be prepared to go through the process that it takes. Now, online or print, I'm an avid reader. I love books. So when they first came out with the Nook, I thought I was going to be in seventh heaven. I have a little machine. I can read all the books I want. After about the first book, I decided that really wasn't for me. I just learned that I like the feel of a book in my hand. I like to turn the pages. I want to dog-ear it. I want to highlight some things. So it gives you a choice, online or print. Now, I will tell you this. Everything has a convenience choice and a convenience cost. Have you ever went to pay your light bill, water bill, and you're using your debit card, and they say you're going to incur a $2.75 charge? And I'm thinking to myself, really, I got to pay you to take my money? That's really what you're asking me to do. Well, it's a convenience card charge here if you so desire to have your manuals printed nice and professionally. There is a $25 print charge. But I'm going to tell you, but I didn't tell you how to get around that. Everything that's online, that you have access to online, you can hit the print key anytime you want to print it. So the choices are print it on regular old paper, or get a nice pretty manual. Which one do you want to pay for? So if you want it professionally printed, $25. If you do it online, your first path is free. If you have dual membership and you're in 2 clubs, you get up to 2 paths for free. After you complete your first path, there is a $20 charge for each additional path. Here's the key that I want to remind everybody. Our highest level is DTM. To complete DTM, you have to do several manuals on several different tracks at $8 a manual each time you buy a manual. For this program, for DTM, you had to complete 2 paths. Remember, your first one was free if you're only part of a club, one club. Your second one will be $20. If you're part of another club before February the 13th, you get 2 paths for free, everything that you need for your DTM for its manuals. So that's why I encourage dual membership if you are not already a dual member. Now, once we get started in Pathways and it tells you about the online or print and you make that decision, they give you an assessment. How many people really love doing assessments? You like taking the test? Not many of us, is there? Not many of us. But my mom always told me that some of the greatest stories I ever told, I told to myself. Now notice I said stories I ever told, I told to myself. And I believed them because I told them. Here we're going to do a self-assessment. I do not want you to tell yourself a story. I want you to be completely transparent with yourself. I want you to go ahead and take the Windex and clean the mirror off and stand in front of it and see exactly what's there. This assessment is going to help recommend 3 paths to you. And it's very simple. It's going to have you to select some things that you're interested in, and then it's going to ask you simple questions. I feel relaxed while giving a speech. Do you agree, strongly disagree, and so forth. Now, this is one question I really want you to be transparent with. We, as Toastmasters, want to say, I strongly agree. But let's be honest. When your VP says we need someone to speak for next week, do you slowly just kind of fade to the back and leave everybody else standing forward? Or do you jump up and say, me, I want to talk? We don't always jump up and say, me. This assessment is your assessment. Nobody will ever see this assessment unless you choose to share it. Be honest with yourself. Be honest, because it's going to come to this page where it's going to recommend your paths. If you were not honest with yourself, your recommendations may not be correct. Now, I told myself some great stories. I also am not keen on anybody telling me, or better say, demanding me to do something. These are recommendations. Truly are just recommendations. However, if you look at these recommendations and you like, they don't know what they're talking about. First problem is, were you truly honest with yourself in your self-assessment? The second thing is, you still have the other 7 to choose from. You are not required to take the recommended paths. You can choose one of the other 7. So we went through that. You're back to your home page, and it's telling you, choose your path. We've done that. We decided if we want to be online, if we want to be print, exactly what we want to do. But this will always be your home page, and the navigator will always be available to you. Now, I told you I love books. And because I love books, Toastmasters took upon us, not just because of me, it's several of us that like those pieces of paper. They are presenting your club with a hard copy of the navigator. So your VPE will have a copy of this navigator, and it'll be there in order for them to reference. You can make copies out of. It'll be your navigator. So we told you about the wonderful new program. So you're thinking, but I'm in the middle of completing my CC. I'm in the middle of completing my Advanced Communicator Bronze. Do I have to quit what I'm doing? Yes and no. No and yes. It's a 2-part answer. No, you don't have to quit it. Yes, you can continue within the traditional program and finish your current path within the traditional program. Yes, you can also work Toastmasters at the same time. So you have the option of simply saying, I'm going to do the old and not do the new up until we reach our transition period, which is July of 2020. Or you can choose, I'm going to work both of them at the same time. But once again, it's just like college. If you get into both courses and realize this is just too much, you can drop a class for a little while. but you eventually have to pick it back up. July of 2020 is our transition time. So that means they're giving us 2 years from rollout to complete our old path, our old traditional program, to go into the new program. But I strongly encourage everyone, as soon as you receive the email saying that Pathways is available, to go ahead and log in. The reason why I encourage that, because not only do we have public speaking, I like a little competition, and I'm quite sure everybody else do, because David has been in a lot of competition, so he likes a little competition as well. So Toastmasters International is also giving your VPE 3 pathway pins. The first 3 people that sign within their system will be awarded those pins. So if you want one of the pins, one of the cool pins that you got ahead of everybody else, make sure you sign in and go ahead and at least take your assessment. Of course, like I said, this navigator keeps popping back up at you. It's not going anywhere. It's always there for your reference. Now, with all the new changes, this is what doesn't change. You do not have permission not to attend your Toastmasters meeting. How can you build interpersonal communication skills if you never intermingle with some persons? If you don't come to the meeting, you lose your confidence builder. You lose a lot of your great kudos that you have available for you. You will notice here it tells you what we have today and what's being added. It's just more added on to you to enhance and broaden your experience, not to take anything away from you. The Distinguished Club Program. You know, currently you have to have 6 of the 12 goals, 2 CCs, 2 more CCs, and so forth. Now it's changed simply to levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the reason why I encourage you to strongly continue both paths until you're fully acclimated, for your club will not lose its status as distinguished or select distinguished or president's distinguished. Because in addition to our transition period for us to change over as individuals, there are also transitions our clubs as well. So you do not want to lose your status that you have. So complete your CCs if you have them and close to them, and go ahead and start on your level 1s and 2s. Local support. We're not leaving you. First of all, you have me as your guide. My team tells me that I truly can be a bugaboo. I'm the nag. I'm that mosquito that keeps coming back and you keep fanning it away. I'm not going anywhere. Then we have the ambassador. Toastmaster Margaret stays on me. Toastmaster Joyce back there is an ambassador. They're not going to let up off of us as guides. We will not let our clubs fall through the cracks. We will continue to be there for you. Then our chief ambassador is Toastmaster Willie Johnson in Fayetteville. Toastmaster Johnson was trying to come down here in the snow and ice to make sure we were on point. He told us his wife said he couldn't go, so we're going to hope that, you know, that really was that case. But they stay on us. In addition, we have our district leadership team, our program growth director, and so forth. They're not leaving us. In addition to that, we also have Toastmasters International. As your guide, I'm on conference webinars weekly, asking questions, getting additional information. If you have questions, if you're missing something, you want to know something, please let me know. Currently, we have a Master QA guide that has over 988 questions that have been asked and answered. And I'm extremely proud of our area because we're coming up with questions that the first ones didn't come up with. So remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Stupidity comes when we walk away without utilizing the resources that we have available, and you have a wealth of them right here for you. So, once again, how do we get started? Who's our VPE? Jonna! Please come on, Jonna! Come on! Tell them, Jonna, we need this support. I will tell anybody, VPE is the hardest job that you have within the club. They are wonderful. Jonna is going to be awarded with your starter guide, and it's got your hard copy of your navigator. It's also got a wonderful jump drive with the new application and everything for it, and those coveted pins, and also some cards that Jonna can pass out to you as reminders. And Ms. Jonna, we're also going to give you a printed copy of a breakdown of all of the paths. So this way you'll have people ask questions, well, what's in that path? What's involved in that path? You have it and you're free to share it. I'll also email it to you. Antoinette is the president. Antoinette is the secretary. Who's our secretary? Look, she's okay. So that is your getting started. So we're going to equip you. Not only am I going to leave you with that, I'm also going to have training sessions for the top 3 officers: president, secretary, and VPE, to get you started, because you're going to be also our base camp manager. Thank you, Jonah.
From Serena, and she would probably blast training.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Other helpful hints, when you get into the system, I forget you, I have a microphone system. I walk around. I'm sorry. Y'all are recording. I get back over here where I'm supposed to be at. When you get into the system, it also gives you the capability to check your compatibility of your system to ensure that the system that you're working on works with the software that's out on Basecamp and Pathways. It's also going to tell you about navigating Basecamp. There's plenty of videos and tutorials out there to help you out along the way. Continued support. I'm not leaving. I told you I'm that mosquito that just keeps buzzing in your ear. After our rollout date of February the 13th, I will be conducting at a minimum 15 virtual sessions. These sessions will be open to all club members. So I will send out a blast to your VPE and your secretary and your president, and they will let you know when those sessions will be. You can get on with me. You can ask questions, tell me what you're experiencing. If I cannot find the answer, then I'll go and bug headquarters to make sure we get that information. So let's get logged in together by going into your login. If you don't know your login information, now is the time to make sure you've got it. There's a support out there. You click it. Don't forgot password, and they'll walk you through that process. So now I want to know if anybody has any questions for me. Yes. Awesome question. I didn't tell them because I wanted to see if anybody was going to ask me. You have a choice. We can go old school. It can be printed out, brought to you. You complete it. You do your oral. You give it to the speaker. That speaker can then simply scan it into the system. They can even take a picture of it with this wonderful smartphone and upload it into the system. Or if you're tech savvy, you can choose to have your laptop and do it straight into the system. Once again, it's down to choices. That's for evaluations. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I would just like to make a note on that. If you do that, you're going to have your own hotspot because there's no laptop. Well, the other option is you can have a tablet.
Yeah, you can use your smartphone if it yes. Anything that's internet based that'll get you to Toastmasters International, you can use it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand that. The great thing about Blue Cross is they give us a guest spots, but we had to create a new login every time you get in it, and that's a whole lot of trouble. I wouldn't advise them to. I don't know. I haven't tried that. They might be able to do a download, but it might be simpler just to print it. For desktop, they're still not going to have it in here with them. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, David?
Valuable do you think this sort of program is, Sarita, for graduate students?
I think it's an awesome thing. For the simple fact, because of the range of what you can use, the paths that you can go through, I never considered writing a blog having anything to do with Toastmasters. But if we look at today's society, people are blogging. They depend a whole lot on it, a lot of online meetings. And as you're a graduate student, you're trying to be at a higher level than those that just have undergrad. You're pushing to know more. So this would be valuable to them because it'll help them grow in areas that they might not receive directly in the classroom.
I think you could do more research on your own. Even though this current material still does, but this one really goes into more in-depth study. And each pass, even though we take about maybe 6 months to complete the manual, this one is about 18 months. Give or take,
How fast you work, it's up to you. Yes, sir.
Is there anywhere that I can go to look at what the competencies are within each path and what the contents of these different modules should be?
We're buttering him up real good because he's going to open us up a club within the school for the grad program. So we want to give him all the information we can because David is going to be our big sponsor for that one, right, David?
Wow, you've already figured it out.
I'm saying this is awesome. We're excited about this.
There's no pressure there.
No pressure, Dave. I'm there to help you. I'm there to help you. I wouldn't put you out there without putting myself out there. Look, we're here to help you. I told you we're not going to leave you. Mentor, club coach, you let us know what you need. We're there.
If Professor Morris is interested, this is going to be a good fit possibly for the students.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. None that I've been made aware of. The application will be different, but I don't think there's any difference in the fees so far. They haven't released anything to me. But that is a question that I submitted last week, so I'm hoping to have a response when I get back to my desk. Because I want to know, because my money is important. Yeah, it said that they were not going to. Yeah, that they're not going to, but also they're advancing so fast. I had several asked about the vision impaired. Is it going to cost any additional and so forth? So I submitted a question asking about additional information on the cost to see if anything has changed since that last communication.
Printed materials?
It's $25 each time you have one printed.
But now,
Compared to $8 for each manual. And you got to complete 2 for advanced communication bronze. You got to complete 2 for this and 2 for that. So you're coming out cheaper with this. But like I told you, if you do online, you don't pay the $25 and you can print what you want to print. What you want to print. Any additional questions? Yes, ma'am.
So, after it rolls out on February 13th, people can sign up for Pathways?
Yes.
Start doing that?
Yes. Anybody that joins after February the 13th will go straight into Pathways. They will not have the option of the traditional program. If you're currently a member, you can continue your traditional along with Pathways. But you should receive an email at midnight. And I asked the question whether or not it's midnight going into the 14th or midnight going into the 13th. And they told me they would give me more information later this week as we get closer to the rollout date. But once you receive that email, you can begin to log on. Yes. No. You still have your meetings. You have your opening, closing, your speakers, your evaluations, your timers, your grammarians, table topics. Everything will remain the same. Any other questions? If not, email me any questions that you have. I'm trying to be more tech savvy, but I do love text. I love somebody to text me because I can answer that when I'm sitting in one of the board meetings instead of going to sleep. So I always give out my cell number, so you're free to text me. It's 501-612-4177. And I also will be emailing your VPE and president. Once again, it's 501-612-4177. And I do thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to come speak to you today. Back in the hands of your president.
Great presentation today from our ambassador and the guide. They have assured us that we have a support base to keep us on task when we are ready next week. Only 1 week away, February 13th. Get ready. Let's get on board. I appreciate you all coming. There is a visitor today along with our presenters. Mr. Morris, would you like to stand and say something to us today?
Our students, go through the academic program and move out towards the work environment. One of the things that we were going to do was essentially recreate the wheel after hearing from David what the
Yeah, not they tell me to remove it or erase it.
VPE Jonna Jacobs is going to tell us about the speech contest, everyone, just before you go. Jonna?
Doris, can I have that sheet, please?
We have a speech contest next week. It's international speeches and evaluators. We have all our speakers. Our speakers are all signed up, but we do need people to enter the evaluation portion of the contest. We need a test speaker that will speak, and then all the evaluators will evaluate that one speech. And we need timers, judges, and awe counters.
No. Counters. No all counters. Just counters.
Counters. So, it says on here, just forget that and read counter.
The odd count is more fun.
Yeah. Please sign up if you plan to be here for one of the roles, and good luck to all of our contestants. I have someone who has already claimed their prize. Just saying, it's going to be a fierce competition. Also on this purple sheet, I passed out the thing with the assigned roles for the next couple of meetings. These are on here too, and the next 2 schedules are already online with your name on it. If you're not able to fulfill that role for the day, it's your responsibility to find someone else to do it. If you're having trouble with that, please email me.
I believe Joyce Biddle has something, Toastmaster Biddle has something to add to that.
Okay, now on the speech contest, since Jonna is the contest chair, the speakers and the evaluator is her baby. The officials is my baby. So if you want to be a judge, a counter, or a timer, see me. Okay? That's on me. Because she has nothing to do with that. She really doesn't. That's under the chief judge. So I'm the chief judge. Even though she has that sign-up sheet, I have one too. So I'm the one that's responsible for that. We're not supposed, and I need to talk to you about something. So if, because I saw something on the website, we need to take that off. Okay? Anyway, so if you want to be an official, please see me. Okay? All right, and like I told Lucy, if you want to be an evaluator, that is a contestant. It's not evaluating the speakers or contesting. You keep that in mind. All right.
Is that it? Thank you all for coming. Come back again. We need you to come back next week. This meeting is adjourned.